Good morning. Good morning and welcome. My name is Dr. Tanya O'Neill. I'm a member of the Black Doctoral Network, and we thank you. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We are excited about our topic um, for the Black Doctoral Network Fall Workshop Series. This is number 2 in our Fall Workshop Series, and our esteemed guest speaker this morning is Dr. Samos L. Mays, who will be discussing the benefits of diversity in the workplace. So, a couple of housekeeping things before I give you some more information about Dr. Mays. Um, we have put the workshop evaluation link in the chat. Please go ahead and grab that or click onto it so you can complete that as soon as we are done here because we need your feedback. So we thank you in advance for that feedback. Couple of other things, just in case you needed a reminder, our national conference, which will be virtual, is quickly approaching next month. So I hope that you have all registered. And if not, go ahead and get registered. Every Tuesday, we are here as part of our Black Doctoral Network Fall Workshop. Every Thursday, we've got conversation starters on Facebook and YouTube at 7 p.m. Every Saturday, we've got fireside chats at 11 a.m. on Messenger. And of course, you're here with us this morning. Every Tuesday, we have for the fall our workshop series. And again, we have with us Dr. Samos L. Mays, who is the Park and Recreation Director of Bryan County, Georgia, and adjunct professor at Georgia Southern University. Dr. Mays is also the founder of the Minority Recreational Leadership Academy. He is also a member of the National Recreation and Park Association, the National Association of County Parks and Recreation Officials, Georgia Recreation and Park Association, and of course, the Black Doctoral Network. So, once again, thank you so much for being here, Dr. Mays. We are excited to engage with you and hear from you around diversity and inclusion in the workplace and its impact and its importance. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to you. And one more thing, I'm going to ask folks, ask questions, bubble up within you, or comments. Please go ahead and throw them in the chat. We want this to be a dialogue this morning. So, Dr. Mays, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and take it away.
Dr. Rosen, I want to thank you for that great introduction. I'm not worthy of that, but I appreciate that. And this is, and like she said, we're going to engage. So feel free to stop me. Post comments in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Diversity is what I'm all about. It's all about the people that I manage and the people that helped me to be what I am today. And diversity is why I'm where I am today as director and a professor and a speaker and a founder. It's all about diversity. So hey, we're going to get into this workshop and let's really have a great time with this today. So. All right. Let's start out. When I do my workshops and my presentations, I always like to start out with a little motivation, a little inspiration. So let's start out with this. When you start looking at people's hearts instead of their face, life becomes clear. And that's everything that I'm about. I'm all about, diversity and looking at a person's skills and abilities, looking at their heart, looking at what they bring to the table, looking at, what some of their attributes are, And I think that's what it's all about. And when we talk about diversity, that's what it's all about. It's looking at a person's heart, what they can bring to the table. That's so important to me. And when you look at the individuals that I manage, and you look at the staff that I oversee, you'll see diversity all around. And I think that, we looking at their hearts instead of their faces, I think everything becomes clear from a management standpoint. And it's everything that this presentation is all about. So let's get into it. So diversity and inclusion, about creating a best place to work. That's what it's all about. You want to love coming to work each day. You want to enjoy the people you work with. You want to enjoy the mission and the vision that you set forth in your organization. That's what it's all about. It's about creating a best place to work where you have different ideas, different concepts, different ways to solve issues. And I enjoy it. And I put my staff in situations where they can be problem solvers. They can come up with new ideas, they can develop new programs, they can go to conferences, they can get education, anything they want to do. And that is what I'm all about, diversity of work and the diversity of the individuals that I employ. So like I said, I'm extremely honored to be here with the Black Doctoral Network doing this presentation, talking about diversity. I feel very special to be here talking about this today. So let's get into it. So 67% of job seekers say a diverse workforce is important when considering job offers. It was important for me when I came to Bryan County. It was important for me when I took on the adjunct professor role. It was important to me when I started the Minority Recognition Leadership Academy. Diversity, working with different people, it's what it's all about. You want to attract the top talent, and to attract the top talent, you have to attract talent from all different genres, all different backgrounds, all different education levels. You need to have diversity in everything that you do to be successful. That's a telling number right there. That the majority of the people that are looking for jobs are looking for diversity. They're looking for people that look like them. They're looking for people that don't look like them. They're looking for everybody across the map to be successful, to make organizations run, to have that awesome mission and vision that we all seek as managers, applicants, and people who make decisions to hire individuals. And I like to get into success, what it's all about. I do a lot of presentations on leadership, diversity, and hiring. And I think there's steps to success. You start at the bottom. You have to build your business case. Make your initiative inclusive. Very important. Always inclusive. You want to, in Parks and Rec, when I say inclusion, I talk about children, adults, special needs individuals, male, female, different ethnic backgrounds. You want to be very inclusive, not only in your workplace with your staff, but you want to be inclusive to the people that you serve. Parks and Rec, we serve communities. We want to mirror our communities. We want our staff to look like the community. We have a different variations of individuals in the community. You want to have different variations of individuals on your staff. You want to get leadership support. You want to define your strategy and goals, always important. Training for all. When I talk about training for all, going to conferences, great workshops like this. If you're sitting in on this workshop, you're getting training. I allow my staff to sign up for this individual workshop. They want to get training. Engage your workforce. Communicate. All these things lead to success. So as you see, the whole diversity and inclusion framework is made up of this success. Success is ultimately what we want. We want to be successful. We want to, whatever we do every day, we want to serve people in Parks and Rec. We want to serve people in different organizations. But success is ultimately what we want. But there's steps to success. And you can't leave any of these steps out to have this success. And when we talk about an inclusive workforce, we're not just talking about black and white. We're talking about everything across the map. Family status, gender, education, military service, personalities, languages, race, ethnicity, office location, sexual orientation, disability, age, background. All these things inform for an inclusive workforce. We want to, have all these individuals to be in here with diversity. So it's not just about white and black. It's about all these different angles to be important, to be inclusive, to have this diversity that we talk about. Once again, here it is. And when it comes together, it looks like this, but when it comes together, it's a puzzle. Everything fitting in, working out. And these are the things, when we talk about diversity, this is what we want. When you talk about the 67% of job seekers, looking for diversity, when they're looking around for places to work, and putting in applications, putting in resumes, they want to know that the people they're working with are all about diversity. They're going to have a fair chance for promotions, fair chance for raising, fair chance, to serve and do things, to come up with new ideas. And this is what it's all about. When I was in school, getting this education that I value so much, the professors would always put charts up, different things, different concepts. And they put this up one day. And it was the concern for people and the concern for production. And when you talk about diversity and you talk about inclusion, you want to be successful, as we say, but you want to have that concern for both. So what I do in Parks and Rec, you definitely got to have a concern for people because we serve communities. But you also want to have a concern for production because of the programs that we develop, right? So when you look at this chart, you have your country clubs, high on people, but low on production, Then you have your impoverished management, which is low on people, low on production. Then you you have your produce imperative, it's high on production, but low on people. But look to the top right. That is what I want to be, a team leader, have that concern for the people that we serve, the concern for production, the people that are employed with us. So being a team leader, I think is the first thing that you have to be if you're going to establish diversity and inclusion. You have to be a team leader. That's what it's all about, because you have to care about people. If you care about diversity, that means you care about people. But if you also care about your community and the people that you're serving, you have to have a high concern for production as well. So that concern for people, that concern for production, so leadership ties right back into it, a team leader. So when I set out, to be a recreation director, to be a professional, to be a manager, I brought in the interpersonal skills of being a team leader. I said, you know what? If I'm going to hire the right people, I'm going to be diverse, I have to be a team leader. So this is something that I picked up way back in the day when I was pursuing this education and deciding what type of professional I wanted to be. This chart always stood out to me about being a team leader. That's what I do. I have a high concern for people, and I have a high concern for production. So when you talk about the path to workplace equality, assess and address pay equity. People want to be paid fairly for their skills. Resolve underlying issues. Parks and Rec. We have a lot of different issues that we deal with, and we have people that want to grow in their careers. And then you want to transform your organizational culture, and the way you're going to transform that culture is with equity, it's with diversity. It's very important. You have the external influence, the internal influence, and it all comes together. So when we talk about being successful and the steps to success, we think that we literally have to think about. We have job positions open, in Bryan County. We want to look at the resumes. We don't worry about what the person looks like. We want to look at the resumes. We want to know what they bring to the table, which is very important. And if you focus on what people bring to the table, and you focus on the resumes, diversity will come naturally. So when you talk about the importance of unity and diversity, you want to, protect equal human rights for all, improve healthy human relations, help to manage conflicts easily, help people away from social problems, communicate effective even in bad situations, improve performance, quality of work, productivity, and lifestyle. I mean, these are things, that I literally sit down and I go over at all times. Are people being treated fairly? Do people have opportunities to apply for jobs? Do people have the opportunity to develop new programs? Do people have the opportunity, to serve the community well? So it goes hand in hand. And I often say you want to mirror your community, the community or the people that you're serving, or the people that work for you. If your employees mirror the community, you're going to have diversity. All these things will fall into place. So what does diversity mean to you? If I can ask anybody any questions, somebody give me a quick definition or type in the chat. When you hear diversity, what does it mean to you? I'm interested to know what people think here. What does it mean to you, diversity? Anybody? You got anything, Dr. O'Neill? Anybody type anything in there?
Not yet. I think they're all still thinking.
Okay. Well, listen, diversity to me, what it means is different people accomplishing a goal, accomplishing a mission. That's what it's all about. Different personalities, different backgrounds, people from different areas, people from different universities. That's what it's all about. Like I said, it's not just about black and white. It's about people from different backgrounds coming in to make things happen. And what we do in Parks and Rec, we talk about mirroring that community. That's what it's all about. So, what is diversity in the workplace? What's a general definition in business? Diversity means hiring a wide range of people from different backgrounds. We talked about backgrounds and making sure that they are treated equally. It has to do with accepting each other's differences and working together as a team. So once again, I just talked about this chart of me being a team leader. I decided I wanted to be a team leader before I even started understanding what diversity was. What does this say? Working together as a team. So being that team leader, right? Different backgrounds. Look at the key words. Wide range of people, different backgrounds, treated equally, accepting, working together as a team. So once again, that's what it's all about. It's the key words that you have to pay attention to. When you
And
want to.
and Dr. Mays, we do have in the chat from Shannon. It's right on time and in sync with what you were saying. Shannon says diversity is accepting our uniqueness and using them for solutions to improve our lives and development.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. Because one thing about me, as a director, as a professor, I want people to do what I do one day. If I have an individual that works with me or works for me, they want to be a director one day. My goal is to develop them. I don't use people. I develop them, right? So giving them this opportunity to have these ideas, to have these concepts, to come up with new programs. That is what it's all about. So if you got people from different backgrounds, treating them right, and you're working as a team, they're going to grow. Are they going to lead you someday? They may. But as a team leader, you have that ability to develop anybody. I have an individual that works with me. He's a young man's name is Terry Ramble. He's an assistant director. He started out as an intern with me in 2017. A lot of people may not have taken a chance on an intern to see them grow that way. But I want people to be what they want to be. And I don't think there's a time limit on it. I think it can happen rather quickly if you accept it and you decide to make these changes. So the team leader, the backgrounds, as she said, it's what it's all about.
And Dr. Mays, we do have another comment also that again aligns exactly with what you are presenting. Christella says diversity means a melee of everything: people's language, culture, their expertise, their gender reference and preference. It is all things together. Diversity and inclusion is looking at their unique abilities.
Right on time with what's on the screen. It's right on time, and that's what it's all about. And one thing about me, I get it's so excited to see different people in the organization, people enjoying what they do, because when you enjoy what you do, it's not work. When you can come in and you see people from different backgrounds, and the thing that I like about individuals with different backgrounds is everyone has a different way to get things solved. Like, for example, I tell people all the time, there's different ways to get to 10. 5 plus 5, 8 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 7 plus 3. They laugh when I say that, but I mean it. The way that I deal with conflict is different than somebody else deals with conflict, right? Because I tell people all the time, I don't fight fire with fire, I fight fire with water. That's the way I do things. I'm a problem solver. You come to me with an issue, we're going to get that issue solved quickly. And that just comes with diversity. Everybody's got different ways they deal with things and they get through things. And my thing is calm the waters, right? So me having that type of management style, I'm able to work with people and develop people, right? So diversity is very important. What she said is very important. It's right on time with what's on the screen right now. Right on time, right? So why is it important? We talk about diversity. Why is that diversity so important? Why does it even matter, right? It's important because we live in an ever-growing global society. And as leaders, we need to have an understanding and appreciation for cultural differences and backgrounds to build the best teams and be competitive in the global market, right? Because once again, the people that we're serving, and I say serve because I am a servant leader. I'm also, transformational leader, but I'm also, as a recreation director, a servant leader, right? So we want to be competitive, right? We want to appeal to different peoples in our community. We want to have programs for adults, programs for seniors, programs for special needs individuals, programs for females, programs for males, right? Programs for young children. We want to be competitive. And everything I just said is diversity, right? We have special needs basketball leagues in Bryan County, right? We have adult volleyball, adult softball, adult kickball, all of these different programs, all of these diverse programs, right? There's going to be diverse people participating in this program. So that's why it's important, right? I mean, we have so many programs, in Bryan County, I just smile at it, because a lot of those things, they may have developed since I've been a director, but the people around me developed this program, right? Shantae Hardy, one of my administrative assistants, came up with the SNAP Special Needs Basketball League, right? Diversity. So very important because from an organizational standpoint, all of these ideas just flow. And I just sit back and I let these people do what they do. I let them have these ideas and I let them be who they are. Because they all got different backgrounds and they all have different ways of solving issues. And I love to see it come together in the Parks and Rec setting, but it can come together in any organization if you allow it to happen, right? So benefits of diversity in the workplace, how diversity promotes profits, because let's face it, there's certain organizations, that survive off profits, right? Diverse workplace better understands diverse markets, stimulating innovation, gives the company freedom to go after the most talented people. And that's very important. Let me stop right there. When you have the freedom to go after the best people and you're just looking at resumes, you're going to be dynamic. Let's go ahead and get that out there. You're going to be dynamic when you can go and get the best people, right? Because you're not worried about what they look like. You're not worried about what color they are. All you want is the best. When your company allows you to do that, you're going to be dynamic, right? Builds trust in your brand with a diverse target market. We talk about who we serve, right? When people see diversity in employment and diversity in your staff, you're going to have different customers, right? Enhances employee engagement by showing the company and understands and respects different cultures, right? You respect different cultures, you understand different cultures, you're giving them that opportunity. It's going to be a melting pot of individuals that are going to come. And that's what's going to increase your profits, right? Because you're turning no one away, right? All you want to do is serve, and all you want to do is, have the best business that you can, because you're understanding diversity is important, and there's no walls up, it's wide open, right? So that's how it promotes profits. And the top 10 benefits of workplace diversity, and I like to go over these because people don't realize it's probably more than 10, but people don't realize, how important these things are. Increased creativity. Okay. I mean, when I talk about the staff that we have, here in Bryan County and how creative these individuals are and how they develop these programs, it makes us look good. And I never say me, I never say I always say we. We did this. When we make a mistake, we apologize. When we do something great, we thank you. That's what it's all about. That increased creativity, variety of different perspectives. Sometimes when we have issues, I'll put an email together. I email all my staff and I say, listen, what do you all think? What do you think we should do here? I call my assistant director. What do you think? I love hearing these different perspectives from these young and these seasoned individuals, right? Of all these different backgrounds. I love hearing how they solve things, right? Higher innovation, faster problem solving. One thing about me as a manager is I don't like to go overnight with an issue. And when you have diversity within your program, everyone's going to may have a different opinion, but when you get together and everyone has a voice and everyone has some dialogue, those problems get solved quicker, right? Better decision making, right? I'm not right all the time. I'm the director, but I'm not right all the time, right? I got people making decisions that's going to help me. I'm going to help them. We're going to build each other. Increase profits, like you said. Higher employee engagement. When employees know that they're respected and they're appreciated, they're going to engage more, right? They're going to seek that education. They're going to seek opportunities to help out, right? Reduced employee turnover. Not a lot of people leave in Bryan County. I got athletic directors that stay with me for 5 to 6 years, and it's people that been with me 20 years. So always you reduce that employee turnover because people feel accepted. They appreciate where they are. Better company reputation goes without saying. You can look at our staff, you can look at our program, you can look at our participants, and you see diversity. It's a good reputation, and also they have a director who's traveling the country speaking on diversity, right? Does great things for your reputation, right? Great organizations like the Black Doctoral Network, doing workshops and things of that nature, right? Improve hiring results. We have a job opening, which is very rare. We get applications all day and night because people want to come here. If we lose someone and they're fortunate enough to move on and better themselves, they're replaced within days because people know that you're going to have that opportunity to have employment here in Bryan County because diversity is number one with us, right? So, like I said, I can talk about these things all day because they mean so much to me, but these are things that I actually utilize in the hiring process and I utilize to manage my staff. And so who benefits from diversity? Employees, volunteers, your HR, program participants, community, future employees. I mean, this is any organization. Your employees are going to benefit. This is what we're talking about. Your volunteers are going to benefit because you're not turning anyone away. You're accepting all volunteers, right? The human resources department is going to have a great reputation. We talk about reputation, right? Your program participants, we talk about mirroring the community. When people see people that work in an organization that look like them, your participants, something dynamic, right? Community. Future employees, what we talk about with future employees, 67% of new employees look for diversity, right? So now with those future employees, you're going after that 67% of those dynamic individuals that are looking for jobs, right? So that's very important. So ideas, these are some of the benefits that you have. A wide variety of ideas for solving problems and finding more efficient ways of doing things. Listen, I can't take credit for all these programs that we have in Bryan County because other people gave me these ideas and utilized them. And I can't take credit for the way they have changed these programs and made them so dynamic. Shante Hardy from special needs basketball with, different concepts and concessions, different concepts of daily operations. Terry Ramble, my assistant director, changed the playoff format. Tommy Dean out of Henderson Park, doing great things with soccer, girls softball, coming up with a fall softball program that's now actual league. So, all of these people that I'm speaking of all have different backgrounds, different everything. They come from different spectrums of society, right? All having different ideas that have made what my job as a Parks and Rec director easier because they're so dynamic, right? And I appreciate them so much. So the ideas that they have, because I understand diversity and I understand giving these individuals that opportunity, what makes us so dynamic, right? So increased reach. If you connect with audiences you've not thought of before in a real and effective way. So we talk about reach. One thing that I like having is this very diverse program. So because we understand, and I'll give you an example when you talk about reach. So I understand diversity in programs. So we got a sport called pickleball that's really popular. A lot of agencies haven't caught on to it yet, but we have because we're diverse and we understand and we serve. So pickleball is a sport that anybody can play, but it extends the life of your seniors who can no longer play tennis, right? We talk about diversity, we talk about caring about people. So we just put in a brand new pickleball facility. Now we got hundreds of seniors and older adults coming out and playing pickleball, right? Reaching new people because we understood what pickleball did and how it's great for a health benefit for your older adults. Now we have it, we're reaching new people. So diversity is not just in the people that you hire or the people you employ, it can even be in your program because something like pickleball extends something to your older individuals in your community, to your seniors that still want to enjoy life and still want to have a great time. So now we have that, and I'm so excited about that. So diversity increases the reach, not only your staff, but in your programs, right? Increase productivity. The more diverse your workforce, the more diverse your brainstorming, the more diverse your solutions, and more diversely productive your team. Productivity. One thing about me, I'm a little weird. I don't even take a lunch break. I love my job so much. I work through. I haven't taken a 12 o'clock lunch break probably in 4 or 5 years. Because I'm so excited what I do every day as a professor, as a recreation director, as a founder. So I want to be productive, and I think it rubs off on my staff because my staff is starting to do things like me, getting things done quickly, not letting things sit idly by. Solving solutions quickly. Getting repairs done. But all of that goes back to diversity because these individuals all want to be great in their own way and they do things differently, but they're all efficient and effective based on the diversity in what we do, the diversity of my ideas and my concepts, and me allowing them to be productive, right? And not micromanaging them and letting them do things that they're going to be great and to have great programs and facilities, right? So reduce fear, improve performance. So what they're saying with that is a place culture diversity goes a long way toward helping your employees feel included, no matter who they are or where they come from. Diverse teams see a 60% improvement in decision making. I want my employees to be the best they can be. Don't fear your job. Don't fear your title. Develop your programs. Have your facilities looking great. Keep the mission and vision in mind. Keep our master plan in mind. It's going to improve performance, right? So when you have that diverse team, that decision making goes up a notch. It goes up tenfold, right? Because you have all these people with all these different education levels. All these different universities they went to, different issues in life. Everyone has a story, but everyone learns from these things, right? So when you have these diverse teams and they're not afraid to do their jobs, it's going to improve performance. Reputation booster. And like I said, what I do in Parks and Rec is, your agency with a good reputation is what it's all about. When people are saying good things about you, and the thing that I like about what I do with diversity being the number one thing is in mind, when people reach out to me, it's not to complain, it's either to compliment, to give us ideas on new programming, right? Or it's things that's gonna make us better, right? So we put in the new pickleball facility that I talked about, which extended the diversity, in people that we serve. Well, somebody just reached out and said, hey, Doctor, maybe we love it, but we need an extra gate on each side so we can get in and out. We're gonna add new gates. So when people are reaching out and giving you good suggestions, complementing your programs, that's what it's all about. So we talk about this. We go back to what I said in the beginning about me being, a team leader and having that concern for people. Because I have that concern for people, it's people, diverse people that I'm listening to. I'm listening to these people, which is going to help what? Like it did. It's going to help with the production, right? Listening to the people in the community is going to help with production, right? So no longer complaining, but just suggesting we're building off of that. So diversity, connection to the community around you, and diversity endeavors goodwill within the community industry. So basically, when you have that good reputation and you're serving the community, it's going to give you that 100% best service award, right? Shante Hardy doing the day-to-day operations, speaking well of everyone in our programs, doing the great customer service, being diverse and understanding people and how things work. That's what makes it successful. That reputation boost is something that's going to come from diversity, because anyone can call up and know they're going to be treated right because you have diversity within your program. So train and retain talent. So 2/3 of job hunters indicated diversity was important to them when evaluating companies' job offers. Not only is hiring from a more diverse talent will make your business attractive to global-minded candidates, helps you to keep them on board. So you're going to keep people. When people aren't worried about being discriminated against, they know they're going to be treated fairly. They know that their work is ultimately going to judge, pay raises and promotions, and they're not worrying about, you looking at them for the color of their skin and it's all about their performance. They're going to stay with you because they're going to say, you know what? If it didn't work out here, it's only because I found something a little better. I was treated right. I was treated fairly. People cared about me. And that's what it's all about. So you're going to, first off, you're going to attract people, because people research your organization. They look at, what the director is, who's working there, who's leaving, who's staying. They're going to investigate what it's all about. So once they see that diversity is important, you're going to attract them. If they come in and you show them that you are about diversity, you're going to retain that talent, right? So wide range of skills. It goes without saying. My background, is sports all my life. Management, leadership. It might be something different for somebody else, but when you understand diversity and you're not, just set on one particular thing, you're understanding everything that goes on, you're going to have a wide range of skills, and it's just amazing to see it take off. We just met yesterday as a group, and we decided we're gonna bring Special Olympics, to Bryan County. Because special needs populations are so important to me. I love those children so much. I like giving them that opportunity with the inclusion. So when you have people in your organization that have a wide range of skills and they understand, how to work with those special populations, it's going to make you dynamic. But we would never be able to bring in Special Olympics if we didn't have different people. If we had people that were just all about baseball and football and basketball, we wouldn't have people that were programmed, people that have that ability, right? So like I told you, that diversity in what I do every day benefits my programs, because now we have programs that we're bringing in. Special Olympics and things like that, programs for seniors, right? So you have, once again, the people with the different backgrounds, and they understand that, hey, this is not just a one-sided thing. It's going to be different variations, right? So those wide range of skills transform into profits, and they transform into programs for Parks and Rec. So improve insights and reduces racism. Hey, let's just be honest. It is what it is, right? You look at my staff, we have people from all different backgrounds, right? Because why? Because I'm looking at the resume. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at your resume. I'm not getting your resume and going on Facebook and seeing what you look like. I am looking at what you bring to the table. I'm looking at your skills and abilities, your education. That's what I'm looking at. But I'm also looking at the intangibles, where you worked at, where you're able to do different things. In Parks and Rec. Sometimes at 6 o'clock when the program starts, you might be over basketball, but hey, 6 o'clock, I might need you over here watching volleyball. Once again, not only diversity in programs, but diversity in your abilities to manage, right? To be able to work with different people, right? So it improves that insight and reduces racism. Racism is not going to be an issue anywhere that I manage, because when you look around, everyone's going to see people that looks like them. They're going to see people that don't look like them. Everyone's going to have that opportunity to get along and to be strong together, right? Because it's all about together. And it removes bias. Decrease in anything against gender and pay bias. Employees learn from the strengths and weaknesses and work together as a team. When I suggest raises, I suggest promotion off your abilities. It's not, what you look like, if you're male or female. I want the best people for the job. We have, different athletic directors. I have female athletic directors, male athletic directors, black and white athletic directors. It doesn't matter because I want the skills. That's what it's all about. So there's going to be no bias, in anything that we do. This is why diversity is so important, because when you are exhibiting diversity and you're displaying diversity, these won't even be a problem. And when these things are all clicking on cylinders, you're going to attract people and you're going to keep people. You're going to attract talent, you're going to retain talent, just like the previous slide said, right? And this, like I told you, you want to mirror the population that you're serving. I don't care what you do, if you're in it in business for profits, or if you're an educator, or if you're a university, if you're parks and rec, anything that you are, if you are mirroring the people that you're serving, you're going to have different people that want to participate in what you do. They want to buy your products. They want to participate in your programs. You have to mirror the people that you're serving. If you're one-sided, with your staff, that's all you're going to see, right? And diversity doesn't mean anything to you, but diversity means something to me. And because it means something to me, I'm always going to mirror the population that I'm serving. And my inspiration for being a speaker, because these things, I feel like we have to get out and we have to talk about these things, right? The only way we're going to make a difference is if we put these things in people's faces and say, listen, this is very important, this is why, and we have to do these things, right? So this is why we have to talk about it. And in this challenge to diversity, I want to stop for a moment and see if anyone has any challenges to any diversity that they try to have. If anybody has any challenges, anybody wants to share anything that they've had to deal with in reference to challenges to diversity?
And Dr. Mays, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Because I'm having some technical difficulties here. So my screen is black, but I can hear you and I can see your slides. So I just wanted to let folks know we have a nice, intimate group. So you don't have to put things in the chat. You can come off mute and engage with Dr. Mays.
Anybody? Well, here's one right here, because we've always done it that way. That's the challenge to diversity right there, because we've always done it that way. People not wanting to change, still want to do things the same way, afraid of what someone's going to say, or afraid that someone's going to not want to be a part of what they do, and that's the issue, because we've always done it that way. One of the main challenges to diversity, right? Resistance to change. There's always employees who refuse to accept the fact that societal and cultural makeup of the workplace is changing. The phrase, we always done it that way, mentality silences new ideas and prevents progress. And that is what, as professionals, we have to try to avoid. Always doing things the same way. We have to change. Society's changing, things are changing, ideas and different things are improving. So if we're going to be, different, and we have this diversity, these are things we're going to have to do. We have to get away from that, because we've always done it that way. Me being a new director, these are the changes that we're making. This is why I'm speaking on these things. Maybe the right people will hear me and the right people will see me, because I'm someone who's not resistant to change, and I think change is inevitable in these situations, right? So as we, get towards the end here, how do we promote the workplace diversity? How do we promote it? It's very important that we understand it's important, but how are we going to promote it, right? It starts with hiring. And like I said before, it's all about, looking at a person's skills and abilities, rather looking at the face, and we talk about their hearts. With their hearts, that's the resume. The resume is the heart. The resume, what they've been through and what they bring to the table is what's very important, right? You can leverage job boards. Consider posting your positions on job boards. When you advertising these jobs, you want to get them out. You want to get them out, some of these online job boards so different people can see them. Job boards for seats who have disabilities, for veterans, service members, military. I mean, you want to have not only diversity in the people that you hire, but you want to have diversity in marketing and advertising, right? So you want to leverage your job boards and get your positions out so different people can see it. You don't want to put it in one place. Only one individual or one type of individual is going to see it. You want to put these things out in different areas so people can see it, right? You can have targeted internships. Internships for individuals for underrepresented groups, women, persons with disabilities, ethnic groups, Black, Hispanics, American Indians. I mean, so when you have these internships, and let's say you you don't have a lot of diversity and you want to make changes, this is something you can do, right? You can do this to start getting that diversity that's very important, right? You want to highlight on your career site, highlight your agency's commitment to diversity, every job description. So you can start, you can put this in your job advertisements that you are committed to diversity. You can let people know we're making changes. We're committed to diversity. And when you have things like this, you're going to have different people apply. Because what we talk about, the 6-7% of people come on when they know diversity is important. When you can spell it out and say it, it's going to improve and also increase the people that apply for your positions, right? So a diverse interview panel. You know, I remember when I got the job in Bryan County, it was a diverse panel. I mean, because when you're going for these jobs and you come in, I come in as an African American man, I'd like to see, you know, somebody that looks like me in there too, along with everyone else, right? I want to know that it's diverse here. I want to know that, you know, there's inclusion, you know, and a good way to do that is to have different people in your panels, and we do that in Bryan County. You know, we'll have panels of 2 or 3. We're going to have different individuals in there from different backgrounds, right? To show people that this is a welcoming place, right? But you want to show people this is a welcoming place because they need the job, but they also need to know they're going to be treated fairly and they have that opportunity, right? So you can train your recruiters to avoid bias. You know, you can use recruitment software, work on personal growth, standardize your interview process, focus on the candidate skill set. You know, these are ways that you can avoid that bias that we talked about. You don't want to avoid that at all costs. It's very important. You can use recruitment software, you know, focus on the technical and communication skills to leadership and decision making, you know. And this software has made a good fit for finding and reaching the best candidates for the job and hiring, process management, application tracking, and advanced hiring analytics. So these analytics can help you to avoid that bias, right? Personal growth, you know, do as much reading as you can about this process. Before I started speaking on diversity, I studied diversity. I said, okay, I'm an African American man and I want to see more diversity. And it's not just about Black, it's not just about white, it's about everyone. So I started studying up on these things. I put these presentations together and it became very interesting, right? And it just shows that it's all about what's in your heart and you want to make a change. So, you know, to promote diversity, you have to understand it. So you have to study up on it and understand what it's all about, right? You want to standardize your interviewing process. You want to make sure you're asking everyone the same question. So I've had jobs, I don't know if any of you all have, where I've had people, you know, ask me different things than they ask other people. You know, that's unethical, right? So you want to standardize this process with closed-ended, open-ended questions, but the same questions for everyone. It's going to help you remove that bias and let people understand it's diverse. Everyone's getting the same questions. How I look is not going to influence my questions, right? And once again, you're going to focus on skill set. You know, develop interview questions that focus on problem solving or work tasks that are in line with the job role the candidate is applying for. And that's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on what they bring to the table. It's not about what they look like. It's about what they bring to the table and ultimately how they can benefit your organization, how you can benefit them as well. We care about people and we care about production. No 2 ways around it, right? And once again, you want to focus on resume. It's so important. I mean, when you're looking at that resume, you're not worried about what they look like. That's what's so important, right? Because the resume, you know, it's not going to tell everything, but it's going to tell you education, it's going to tell you the skill set, and base everything off of that, right? So as we, you know, come to a close here, we talk about the benefits of the workplace one more time. You know, positive results, employee, fewer lawsuits, higher morale, increased creativity, increased productivity, quality workers attracted to the organization, improve decision-making process, improve decision-making speed, more customers reach. We talk about that reach. And goodwill form with businesses and government groups. So, like I said, it's just so many benefits. I don't think there's any downside to that person. Because like you said, you know, we want to appeal to different people in the community, but we also want to appeal to people that we're hiring. And we want to have a diverse staff, which is all very important in what we do as professionals, right? And inclusive teams make better business decisions up to 87% of the time, which is so true. Because inclusion, you know, and what I do in Parks and Rec, because everyone deserves that opportunity, you know, for leisure, you know, for fitness, for health, you know, to get better, to have fun, to socialize. And I think what I do in Parks and Rec is an awesome opportunity to promote diversity because of the communities that we serve. And I think it makes our communities in Bryan County better as a whole because people are interacting, getting to know and see different people. And I think it's very special to see it all come together, right? And, you know, when you look at your staffs, and you look at the people that you employ, you know, this is what it should look like. You know, it should just look like different people from all different backgrounds, you know, with smiles on their faces, enjoying what they do, you serving the communities, making your whole organization more dynamic as a whole, right? We want to be different together. There's nothing wrong with being different, right? Nothing wrong with it at all. It's a beautiful thing. And I think when we do it together, I think we're more dynamic. And I think it's a better thing for everyone. And I really appreciate you all listening to this. If there's any questions, my presentation is concluded. And I'd like to get into some dialogue or anything. If you have any questions or any comments, I would welcome it. And I appreciate it, Dr. O'Neill, for hosting me today and allowing me to do this presentation. I appreciate it so much.
So thank you so much, Dr. Mays. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that I took away some nuggets from this presentation, and I do have my chat back. I can kind of see the chat now. I was kind of blind for a little bit, but we also have some folks who chimed in the chat, Christella and Shannon, talking about how they have felt more exclusion than inclusion in the different professional spaces that they have been in. And just how they've always felt that, diversity is more than, just as you said, what the person looks like. And so this has been really great. And so if anyone has any questions, please feel free to come on off of mute and ask your question. Or you can throw it in the chat. I know, again, I took away some nuggets. I love what you said about wanting your staff to be a reflection and to look like the communities that you serve. I also love what you said about fight fire with water. Never thought about that before, but you're right. The saying is fight fire with fire. Why would we do that? Right? So coming with a solution. And I would say the one question that I had, and probably some more folks may have it as well, is when you talk about the hiring piece, the recruiting piece, right, and wanting the staff to be a reflection of the communities that are served. How do we get the word out to those different communities who historically might not have gone into a profession like parks and recreation?
Right. One thing when we talk about that community, I got a great connection with the community. And a lot of the underrepresented individuals are trying to do their thing in the community. They're trying to get the word out. And you have to have a connection with these people and social media, because these people in every city, every community somebody's going to have an underrepresented group on social media where it's about 300 people that are really feeling like we're being excluded. You have to connect with those people, right? Mm-hmm. Because what I'm doing in Parks and Rec, it's a county organization. So it's a county, it's everything, right? But I have a connection with all of these people, right? Local NAACP, right? All of these different organizations, you have to have, a connection with them all. Because of course, just putting things out on that county platform, you're right. Only certain people are going to see it, right? But listen, what am I doing today? I'm doing a workshop for the Black Doctoral Network, right? You have to have people like me that are willing to step outside of the comfort zone and to get the word out on a national level. That's the only way things are going to get better, right? Because there's no easy solution for this, right? I'm trying to do this presentation in as many platforms that will take me, right? So this is how you get the word out to the people. Let them know that there's someone out there, and hey, somebody may want to do what I do. If somebody does what they do, it's like a chain reaction. Right? Yeah. So that's what it's all about.
Thank you for that. And you're right. You are getting the word out, and we appreciate that so very much. And once again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to come on off of mute and let your voice be heard in the Zoom room here today. Also,
hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Shannon. How are you guys?
Awesome. Yes.
Hi, I am a doctoral student in industrial and organizational psychology at Adler University. I'm also a doctoral peer academic advisor and career preparedness coach. So I greatly appreciated this entire workshop. And as I stated in the chat, funny enough, one of my assignments for my talent management course is on diversity and inclusion this week for a research paper. So thank you so much. you have like really fueled my fire to really get started on completing this assignment. So thank you.
Great. And that's my goal, you know, to just try to be an influence on people. Because like I said, as a leader, I feel like a leader doesn't use people, they develop people. So if I say one thing that's going to reignite your fire and get you going, I've made a difference, you know.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you. Thanks, Shannon, for sharing your voice with us. Thank you. So I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up today. Thank you for your comments in our chat box. Thank you for your patience with me, your host, whose system has encountered some gremlins. But most of all, thank you to Dr. Mays for this presentation. We really, really appreciate this. And keep fighting those fires with water, Dr. Mays. Thank you so much. Please remember, those of you who can see the chat, please remember to go ahead and click on the link that I have put in there for the workshop evaluation. That's really important to us so we can keep bringing you great speakers like Dr. Mays. Thank you and have a great rest of your day, everyone.